Welcome back to the Bump in the Night podcast. I am your host, Johnny Zuko, along with my co-host,
Ginger Snap. It's hard to snap with your left hand. I can't. It's hard to do it.
And the reason she's snapping with her left hand is because she is holding the head of Micheal Myers.
Yes, more like caressing.
And she is caressing
His
head, his hair.
Some finesse.
And today's topic is who killed it best. Before we get there, though, you had anything you wanted to see, or?
I mean, I saw some stuff. Well,
obviously we're doing the Lords of Chaos review later in the week. But
yes, can't wait.
Else?
I saw a couple films over the weekend. I saw the remake of Death Wish, the Eli Roth one with Bruce Willis.
Oh.
That's all right. I mean, it was pretty gory, but it wasn't as like intense as like the original. You know, have you seen the original Death Wish?
Yeah, I've seen the original Death Wish.
So like this one, the gore is pretty good, but I don't know. I felt like something was missing.
Yeah, Bruce Willis actually showing up.
I felt it was edited weird. Like, I don't know if they had issues in production or...
Around the time they were filming this movie, there was a gun controversy in Chicago, and there was a bunch of gun shootings out there. Makes sense. They had to edit it around that, and so it didn't touch too heavily on that. Interesting.
Yeah, I just felt like something was missing, but he was good. And then I saw, like, an indie film last night that's been on my list. It's Craters of the Moon. If I saw that earlier, that would be on my, like, winter horror list. But it's, like, this couple who are, like, in the Idaho desert, but it snows there. And he's, like, a total dick. It's like a movie if you're in an abusive relationship, like, girl power kind of thing at the end. But that was really good. They're, like, stuck together and they can't get out of the car. And he's just a total dick. He's like, I'm going to survive. You're going to die because I'm going to eat you. And he's, like, crazy. And, yeah, it's a good independent film. I think it's on Amazon Prime. I think that's where I saw it. But yeah, Craters of the Moon.
The Craters of the Moon?
Mm-hmm.
New movie? Old movie?
A couple years old, I think.
Really? Who's in it?
It's total independent. I'm not sure. Yeah.
Recommend it?
Yeah.
Anything else?
That's pretty much. I'll give that like 3 snaps. Yeah.
That's solid.
That's pretty solid. That's about it. Lords of Chaos, which I can't wait to talk about.
Yeah, which we will be touching on later in the week in a separate episode. We're going to go see that this weekend, and we'll have it up later in the week, hopefully.
I wonder if the movie version is different than the one I saw. I wonder if they're going to cut stuff out.
No, they're still the same length. Still the same runtime. So, I saw Happy Death Day to You.
How was that?
And holy shit, that was an awesome fucking movie.
Expected.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you see the first one?
I did.
Yeah, I made it see the first one.
And it was okay. I mean, it wasn't like, it was entertaining enough. It wasn't my favorite, but the second one, they played it more as a comedy than a horror movie.
That's what I heard.
But it worked. Like, I felt like it worked better than do you?
Yeah, I thought it worked. It was basically the live version of Rick and Morty episode where like there's an episode where Rick does like this whole multi-dimension thing.
Oh god, that episode.
And so that's what that reminds me, because there was like different, you don't see the other different dimensions living through the day, but you just see the one dimension that's really important.
So how did they, because is there another killer? Is there another killer in it, or is it the same killer and she's
It's
like
funny because the
repeating?
killer is not even prevalent to the story. It doesn't even matter. It's like he's
why do they
kind of
keep
in
dying?
the background.
Or she's in the background?
No, the killer's in the background. The whole killer story is in the background of the movie. And the whole thing about the movie is her trying to get back to her own dimension.
That's so weird.
It is a fucking fun movie.
Well, in the conflict of whether to stay, she has reasons to stay.
Yeah, I wasn't going to say that because that kind of gives away...
No, well, no spoiler alert.
Well, yeah, there is
there's a conflict of whether to stay in the dimension that she
likes
seems to be stuck in, or go to the dimension, go back to the dimension that she originally started in.
Yeah, and so...
And it does have to do with the boy. It has to do with different...
Yeah, it's just...
It was better than expected. I was pretty entertained.
It's funny because Christopher Landon said that the inspiration for the sequel was Back to the Future 2 and Weird
That's what
Science.
I heard. Yeah.
It's like
that's what I
can
thought
totally
of
tell.
Weird Science.
I could totally tell.
And I heard it has like a John Hughes kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Does it?
I would say it.
Yeah,
it's
just not even. I think the criticism about this movie that like the reason the horror community is all up in arms about it and raging about it on Twitter is because it's not a horror movie. It's not a slasher movie.
It's comedy.
It's a sci-fi comedy, and this is a sequel that does what sequels should do. It had to break the rules. It broke every single fucking rule, and kind of just took you on this fun ride. And there is a killer post-credit scene at the very end that sets up a fucking insane third movie.
No, everyone left.
We're the only ones that were still there. We always just hang out just to see.
Well, that's just because of Marvel movies, so you have to stay. But yeah, it sets up like this crazy third ending.
Do you think they'll make a third one?
I mean, they made it on a low budget. So I'm hoping, because I would love to see that third movie, to be honest.
Can you give it away? Or
no,
no,
I can't.
Off camera you can.
Yeah, off camera I will. But it sets up such a great third movie, and I want to see that movie.
Nice.
That's going to be great.
I like the guy in it, like her boyfriend. I like him.
Yeah, he was good. He actually had more to do in this movie, which was nice.
Yeah, I wanted more of him in the first one, but he wasn't in it.
You should definitely check this one out. I think
I'll wait
I think you might enjoy it.
I'll wait. I'll see it. I just didn't care to see it in the theater, but I'll wait.
Snob. Jeez. And then I did a double feature of Piercing and Braid.
I really want to see those two.
Good.
I heard Braid is like really.
It is okay.
Out
So I'll start there. Braid is an interesting movie, and it's so layered.
No pun intended.
Yeah, it's like Inception kind of, because it's just like not like in a literal sense.
Is this also multiple dimensions?
So no, it's just so weird.
Oh, okay.
It's just you don't know where you are.
That's trippy.
And it doesn't tell you a linear story.
I hate watching movies more than once, but this one
you would need to
make an exception. Yeah, I would.
I
hate watching movies more than once.
Is it a European director or American?
Yeah.
They usually do those kind of movies. You know, Americans not so much.
Well, both of them, both these on this double bill are made by European directors. So, but Braid was an interesting movie. So it basically tells a story about two wanted women on the run from the law. They go to their friend's house, and the only exception is that they go to the friend's house. They have to play a game, and it's just repeats.
And there's a reason why they have to play the game.
I don't want to give it away.
It stems from when they're younger.
And so if you're gonna watch it,
They weren't on the run from the law.
Yeah, the two want. Yeah, they were.
They were missing. They were
wanted.
Missing.
They were wanted because they were selling drugs at the beginning. The cops busted down their apartment.
Oh, I just remember the part where he said they were missing.
Remember that's because they haven't. That's because that hasn't.
I guess I do need to watch it. It was kind of all over the place, but then not.
Would you recommend it?
Yeah, I highly recommend it because it is a trip to watch. It's like a more of a scaled back version of Mandy, just with less violence.
Oh wow, okay.
But there is like some violence in there that's just like so off the wall, and an ending that kind of doesn't make sense. But you're like, what?
From the trailer, it looks visually like whoa, like really nice.
It really is. Highly recommend that one. I kind of wish when we did the double that night that I started with this movie
instead of Piercing,
because Piercing was the opposite of what this movie was, and Piercing was just a fucking fun movie.
I liked Piercing.
I really want to see that. So tell us what that one's about. Briefly.
Basically, this guy is a serial killer in training, and so he kisses his wife goodbye. He goes off somewhere, says he's on a business trip, and he kidnaps a hooker. Or he calls a hooker, and then he just takes her in and he tries to kill her. But tables get turned, and all of a sudden,
she messes with him.
Yeah.
Nice.
But there's a little twist to that too. There's a couple of twists where you're like, what?
Yeah.
Like more than
another
one.
thing too.
But then it makes sense. You go, Oh.
Like, it makes sense.
But then, this is from the director. This is the second movie from the director that did Eyes of My Mother. Have you seen that movie?
No, I have not.
You haven't seen that movie?
Mm-mm.
I think that's still on Netflix. You should watch that one. But that movie is really gloomy and moody and shot in black and white.
Mm-hmm.
And not much dialogue, so you'll like that.
What?
That's always a running gag because she doesn't like dialogue.
No, I like it has to be good dialogue, not like Quentin Tarantino every 5-minute dialogue.
There we go. And so, but this one is just real piercing. Though is the opposite of what Eyes of My Mother was.
Mm-hmm.
It was just really brightly lit. They took a couple scores from a couple of Giallo films, from Tenebrae and Tentacles.
Nice.
So the opening theme is the song from Tentacles, and the closing theme is the theme to Tenebrae.
That's funny. Where did you see? Did you see these in theater? Or did you?
I saw these on Prime. I rented them on Prime, and I'm glad I did because, like, holy shit, this was a fun double. If I go back, I'd switch them again though.
Which one did you prefer more?
On a personal, I think Piercing because it was shorter and funner, and the way it ended was just like it kind of pisses you off, but you're like, oh, okay. But you get it though, and it's kind of funny because if he's trying to replicate Giallo films, I've seen 2 Giallo films like these past 2 weeks, and they all end on a crazy fucked up ending.
Is it violent?
Yeah, it's pretty violent. But some of the violence is kind of off screen, but a lot of the violence is not. It's not over the top.
Okay.
What about the piercing?
That wasn't too bad, but that was pretty cool though.
Don't give it away.
I do really want to see. I like that actor too. He was on Girls.
Christopher Abbott.
And he was also in The Sinner.
Yeah, Mia
really
Wachowski.
good.
Yeah, she's good.
I really like her.
Yeah, she was really good. But yeah, that was my little fun double. I thought that was fun.
Sounds like a fun double.
It was. I recommend you do that double too.
Yeah.
So we can actually do an episode on that double feature. That'd be fun. Okay, so main event time.
We need like the bell, like dinging bell, ding 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 ding.
Right. Okay, so it is Micheal Myers versus Jason Voorhees in the battle to see who is the best slasher. And
this
Jason
is a hard one.
Jason Voorhees wins. Done.
Wow.
Episode over.
Click.
Click. There you go.
Drop mic.
Boom.
No, you know what? This is a really tough one because these are both beloved slasher films. These are both people that everyone loves, but they couldn't be more different.
No, they couldn't be more different.
They're so different. So I was like, should we break this down into different categories?
That's what I was going to go into.
Okay.
So I was thinking, let's go into you sent me an article, so I'm going to steal a cue from them. Okay. So let's break it down with their backstory.
Okay. Who has the better backstory?
Who has the better one?
All right, so
You go first.
Obviously, I'm on Team Michael. I'm a big Micheal Myers fan, always have been. So I'll give them. Why don't I do the Michael and you can do the Jason?
Yeah, that was the thing.
All right. So Michael's backstory is so freaking mysterious. You don't know what makes him psycho. He kills his sister when he's 6 years old. He is legitimately pure evil at a very young age, and I think what drives this story and what makes him have the better backstory is because you don't know a lot. It's more mysterious and it's more moody, that's for sure. But
the thing with the sequels, what happens is that it gets really muddy, though. And that's where they kind of fuck that up,
especially at 6, the whole Thorn
trilogy,
the curse of that kind of I'm not really including that in this because that.
Well, you can't because I have to include the sequels too.
Well,
so that's the thing where it's everything or none.
I'm not including Rob Zombies in this either.
No, it's everything or none because there's also a category we're gonna have to talk about who had the
remakes.
Better. Yeah.
I mean, I hated them both. So.
Yeah, I know, but we're not there yet. Relax. I'll let you get on your soapbox.
Well, so the original start of Micheal Myers is very mysterious. You don't know why he's crazy and why he murders his sister and starts murdering people. You don't know. And, Sam Loomis's fascination is he really wants to figure this boy out, and he can't, so that drives him nuts. So there's a big psychological story and aspect on Micheal Myers' side. Then you get to it's his sister. He wants to kill everyone in his family. And then the whole Thorn thing, which I don't care for that storyline, honestly. I think they were just trying to push the 90s at that moment and be like into Satan.
I think they dropped the ball with 4 and 5 mainly because of Danielle Harris's character.
With the family,
because the original pitch for 5 was to have her be the killer,
and that would have been really cool.
That would have been like, boom.
Yeah,
I think that would have really put the series back on the map. Yeah, after that,
for sure. But yeah, it does follow. Towards the sequels, it does follow, like, oh, he'll kill anyone in his family kind of thing. Or anyone that gets in his way of doing that.
Another interesting thing about that franchise in particular is that it's a choose-your-own-adventure.
Pretty much.
You know what I mean? Yeah. You go to Halloween, you can go to Halloween 2. And then you can go to H2O.
Yeah.
Or you can go Halloween 2, 4, and 5, and 6. Or you can go Halloween 2018.
The new one, yeah.
Yeah. And so... I think he has a mysterious background, but the thing about Jason, though, Jason has more of a sympathetic role.
His is more vengeance.
But you understand why, though. Yeah. Like, they killed his mom, for one, and 2, they let the fucker drown.
Because they were doing it while he was drowning.
Sex. And so, he comes back, and he starts raining havoc all over the camp. Mm-hmm. But the first one, we can't even count the first one because it's his mom that's doing the killing.
Oh, so we can't count that one?
We can't count it because it's Pamela, it's not Jason.
Yeah, but it's still part of the series.
It's still part of the series, but it's not Jason. We're talking about Jason and Myers. But we have to talk about every movie, though. But Pamela sets up Jason, and Jason wasn't supposed to come back.
Right. But they got a good profit out of it. And then also his mask and we'll get to that look later, but yeah, and then didn't he get kind of supernatural though, too?
Michael is more supernatural than Jason.
But Michael didn't go to space.
Michael did not go to space.
And have the uber Jason look, But that was ridiculous.
Pinhead and Leprechaun also went to space, so let's just leave it at that.
Let's leave the slasher people out of space. Just leave them out.
And so, to me, I think Jason just has more of a sympathetic background because he was a deformed kid. He was just trying to fit in, and he drowned because people just weren't paying attention to him. Yeah. Unlike Michael, it's like that kid was just pure fucking evil.
Yeah. I mean, Jason definitely, it's a good story as well. You sympathize for him, and it's a vengeance story, that's for sure.
But there's a limit, though. Like, there's only so far you can feel so sympathetic to him until you get to 3, and all of a sudden it's like, okay, man, you made your point already.
Yeah. Then it just becomes kill after kill after kill. But we'll get into that. But yeah, I don't know. I guess I like Michael more because I like more mystery.
No, it's Jason.
I like more psychological of not knowing. How the brain works and what makes someone do those kind of things. So that's why I like Michael's story a little bit more.
I think Jason's story holds a little bit more weight just because he was more humanized at first.
Was he though? Because he's more monster-like, I feel.
He looks like a monster. That doesn't mean he's not a human.
Right, but they make him...
He wasn't a monster when he was born. He was created a monster.
But they make him so monster, like universal monster looking, and
Yeah, because he's a hunchback, and he was like Rocky Dennis.
Oh, I love Rocky Dennis.
That was the whole thing, that he looked like Rocky Dennis. And that's why he always got picked on, because he looked different from the other kids. Yeah. And he was bullied massively, and then the campers just didn't care about him. Yeah.
It's like Castle Freak.
That's a good movie. But yeah, that's the... I think Jason has the edge. There.
So we'll disagree on that one.
No, can't disagree on that one.
Why do you get the final say in who?
Because I'm the host.
Shouldn't she? I'm the host too. What the fuck? Do you want to be like the ringleader in this and
do you want to be the deciding factor?
Well, I have an opinion, but
okay.
I tend to think that mystery is creepier, and so not really knowing why Mike Myers does what he does is a little creepier. Like if he's just evil, and his, that's what he's driven by is just and you don't really know why. Once you start getting details and figure out, that's very satisfying sometimes. So it's satisfying. It's not necessarily creepy.
Yeah.
So that's why when I watch movies, sometimes if they show too many details of like
it takes you out of it,
or your imagination does so much more with little things that are thrown at you than yeah.
So she's on my side.
One for Michael. All right.
Ding ding.
All right, so 2, we'll go into look.
Okay.
So look.
So both these guys have a lot of different looks.
Well, Jason, not so much, but...
Well, his mask changes a lot, and, like, he had a potato sack on in the second one, and then in space, he had that weird, you know...
platinum mask.
Yeah, that was a weird-looking thing.
Unlike fucking Myers, who had to paint it on eyebrows.
That was bad. That was pretty bad.
Like, what's going on there?
After 2, his mask just got terrible.
Yeah, like, they couldn't even find the regular mask.
It got so, like, my favorite Michael Myers mask is actually Halloween 2. I know I'm very biased with that one, but I just thought he looked so creepy in number 2. But 1 and 2, for sure, hands down, you can't beat having a William Shatner face. I'm sorry. Like, you can't beat that. You can't beat Captain Kirk, you know? But his whole thing is to be expressionless, emotionless looking. Blank, like Sam Loomis says, blank, pale, emotionless face. That's creepy, too. When you don't have a lot of emotion shown and you're killing people. But yeah, I would say I'm going to go with the first and 2. Like, his mask looked great and was very creepy. After that, I mean, 4 and 5 just got really bad. What was it? Resurrection was really bad. Like, those eyebrows, I don't know what they were thinking. Like, they made him look... I don't even know.
Some of the remakes of all these things, you can tell it's just the period that they're, like the time frame that they're in. Yeah. And they're super influenced by whatever is sort of popular or whatever. It's like, I don't know.
But like, that was just bad. H2O wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great. The mask in the new one I really liked because it did show... It showed it aged, you know, like obviously it's been kept up, you know. I mean, look at I've had this mask for years and it's showing a lot of age. So I like that factor. So I would say like number 1, 2, and then the recent one were the best masks.
But I think the hockey mask is a lot more iconic than the Myers mask, though. The hockey mask is something that's just very iconic. You show someone that doesn't watch horror movies, you show them that hockey mask,
they'll know that
they
that's
know
Jason.
what it is. And I think what Jason is that he transcends horror. Like, he's in the fact that he's like up there with Freddy, where he has that crossover appeal. You know, like Jason did a fucking Nike commercial.
Yeah, didn't he do a bunch of other ones too? Like, wasn't there a pizza
he did the
one?
Nike commercial, but they never aired because it was too scary. But that just goes to show that Jason is more iconic, I feel. And that look is very distinct to Jason.
Well, what mask did you like out of all the Jason masks?
Jason Lives or Takes Manhattan?
Was Jason Lives when he looked like the back of his head's like black looking? Like it's very dark and purplish black?
I think so, yeah.
I liked that one and Manhattan as well.
Manhattan was good.
Yeah.
New Blood was okay. I think his look, though, looks so detailed in New Blood. I thought in New Blood he looked really good. And that's when Kane Hodder took over the role. And Kane Hodder, you know, is Jason. You know what I mean?
I feel, though, when they made Jason so big, it just got kind of ridiculous, though. Like, they made him just so beefy and, like, huge. Where Michael is scary because he just looks like an average man. It's an average size.
Dude. I think that
superhuman strength.
Exactly.
I think Jason is stronger than Michael, though.
Well, he's definitely a lot bigger.
It's been proven. Yeah, because he's fucking bloated, too. When he comes back from the water, that's all water.
Water weight?
He's water weight. And then in Jason Lives, he's out of shape. The actor that played him was out of shape. Even the director said, dude, you're out of shape. They had to recast Jason midway because the dude was out of shape.
That's pretty crazy. I liked his walk though. I think was it Jason Lives? You know when the people are playing
paintball.
Yeah, I liked his walk like that. And also he looked really creepy in number 3 when he's like running and stuff. Like that's creepy. But the remake, they just made him so freaking huge. Same with the Halloween remake. That was just so too big. You know what I mean? Where it just like they look like wrestlers. I'm sorry. Like looks like kind of ridiculous.
What are you trying to say?
It looks clowny. Like it looks a little ridiculous, you know? That'd be like having The Rock with a Jason mask on.
I'd pay to see that movie.
But then it's like it's not realistic to me.
It is real because he's a fucking monster. It's not supposed to be real.
Well, let's talk about same with the look.
Well, it gets campy when it's
very campy.
Like
a slasher movie is supposed to be campy.
But Halloween though, it's creepy because he's so average size looking, but yet he's so quick and he appears out of nowhere. So it's like, how did he get there? Whereas like they show someone running or I don't know, it just kind of takes me out of it when they just show up and the movements are very like kind of robotic. That's scary to me. Personally.
That's not scary.
I think it is.
That's not scary at all.
All right, what does our producer think? What do you think? What about the look of these characters?
I probably just the original inspiration, like what originally inspired both of them seems to work the best to me.
Yeah.
Like with the first movies of both of them just seem. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like it seems like the original inspiration was the best factor in that.
So is it a tie for this round?
Yeah. Okay. I think both of them. Sort of the vintage look of both of them.
All right, so we're at 2-1.
2-1.
Michael 2, Jason 1.
Well, the look is distinct, and so now we go on to franchise.
Okay.
So, go ahead.
So for the franchises, I'm personally a fan of Halloween 1, 2. I thought 4 was good. 5 wasn't as good. 6 I liked when I was younger. Now I kind of
Paul Rudd, man.
I know.
Nothing wrong with Paul Rudd. What's wrong with you?
I loved Paul Rudd when I was little. Clueless and stuff came out around the same time. So I really liked that. And I like H2O. I did not care for Resurrection whatsoever. Such a cool story premise, but it just did not work in my opinion. The acting, the look, Busta Rhymes. No, anytime you have a rap star, I'm sorry, it's gonna suck. But
although his music's good.
Yeah. Yeah, whatever happened to him? He doesn't really do anything now.
He's releasing an album next year or this year.
Oh, really? Oh, right on.
Anyways, I did not care for Rob Zombie's remakes at all. I used to love Rob Zombie up until he made the remake. It's just way too much backstory, and that's where it's not scary. Like, they literally gave the first 30 minutes of, like, a backstory to Micheal Myers, and I was just like, this is taking me out, and they cuss every 5 seconds, and...
Oh, shut the fuck up.
It's just trashy. It was very trashy, and I did not care for that.
It's white trash. Come on.
Yeah, but he wasn't white trash in the original. He comes from, like, a suburban good neighborhood. That's scary, Like, you think you're safe in this neighborhood, but no, you have a freaking 6-year-old killing people. But, so, the franchise, I think they had a lot of issues. They had a lot of studio. Same with Friday the 13th, actually. A lot of studio issues. Mustafa Khan had issues. A lot of the directors and writers didn't get what they necessarily wanted. And actors, Danielle Harris didn't get what she wanted either, which was unfortunate. So, it gets a little muddy after Halloween 4, but... I think they're still pretty decent, minus some things here and there. It's just a timeless film. And if it wasn't for this, I don't think Friday the 13th would have gotten made. This set the bar for, like, theme.
I will sit, and it didn't set the bar. That's Black Christmas. Let's be real.
Black
Christmas, like, really helped Halloween propel that.
It did, but Halloween was so successful.
Not a better slasher movie, but I think Halloween was just one that propelled the slasher movie to the forefront of the genre.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Like, it was so successful. It really, like, pushed, in that time people were like, we got to get our hands on and make holiday horror films or day horror films, So that, it was, like, the spark of that, I think. So
The original Friday, though, was more of, like, a whodunit film. And it wasn't...
My thoughts exactly.
The original Friday was a whodunit film, and you don't know who did it, you know?
Yeah.
And until the very end, and then you find out, oh, it was Pamela, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
Which is funny, because if you watch it, too, in the beginning, you see her sweater picking up the hitchhiker.
Yeah. But it's very manly looking, though, because she was very manly looking things. I
think that's Savini's hands.
I know it's his hands at the end. I didn't know that was his hands in the beginning.
Yeah, I think he was the one that did most of the murders.
That's funny.
Because he did most of the murders in The Prowler.
That's right.
But I think Friday the 13th as a whole really didn't know what it wanted to be. It wasn't until it got to like maybe 6 is when they understood that let's just be really campy with it. Let's just be a fun slasher movie. Because then after that, it became like the ritualistic killings and stuff like that.
Yeah, it was just nudity and gore. That's all.
But that's what people wanted, and that's what I wanted. Like that's the only reason I rented Friday the 13th movies.
Because you're a guy.
I mean, Friday the 13th movies are pure slasher movies.
They're just
Halloween
fun.
movies. Halloween movies, they take a long time to get up there.
Mm-hmm.
Friday the 13th, it's right away.
It's like right away, yeah.
You know, there's no foreplay. It's just boom, machete to the head. All right.
Yeah.
And they don't care. They'll kill a handicapped person.
That was one of the best kills, by the way. I will give it, I will say it's definitely more violent as a franchise. It's definitely like slice and dice, and they were very creative in the kills, I think. But I mean, that's what it's for. It's literally nudity and gore. There's not much more to it.
Jason went to Manhattan, then went to space, and then he fought Freddy.
Well, no, he went to hell at one point.
Oh, then he went to hell. Yeah. But yeah, what did Michael do? He didn't do none of that shit. He didn't go to space. He didn't go to the city.
Because he doesn't need to go to space.
Because Jason went to space.
Because it's so... Oh, I just can't stand slashers in space. I'm sorry.
Jason went to space and then he got all roided out and became Uber Jason?
So
Come on.
bad. That was like one of the worst horror films I've ever seen in my life. So
and
bad.
Drowning pool in the background. Let the bodies hit the floor. Come on.
So bad.
I think the Friday the 13th franchise has not more continuity, but I think they have a better... Their movie, like you can watch their movies back to back and not feel fucking bored. Unlike Halloween movies, you can watch like maybe one or two and get midway to the third or midway to the second and still like. No,
I could sit through Halloween.
It takes a long time to get there, and
well,
I think
there's definitely less of Halloween. I mean, God, how many Jasons are there? There's so many. 13? Right? I think we're
including
at 13?
the remake, yeah.
13,
including
14.
Freddy
so
versus
how
Jason.
Different... So it's kind of hard to compare, because how different do you think Friday the 13th would be if it was made at the same time as Halloween started? Because what's the difference in the years? Isn't it like 6...
2 years? 3 years? Halloween came out 78.
But the 70s was so different. Well, I guess it wasn't that far in the 80s, when the Friday the 13th came out.
The gore, 80s definitely got really gory with
and
slasher
goofy.
Stuff. Yeah,
and
campy, goofy. Whereas like 70s stuff was way more intense, way more mystery, which is what I prefer actually. Yeah. So I think that's why I'm biased. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Jason too. I love Friday the 13th films. I just prefer not seeing tits every fucking 5 seconds and a head getting slashed every 5 seconds.
Jason was an allegory of fucking birth control. Come on. You have sex, you die. Plain and simple.
Well, that's part of camp.
Yeah.
Like camping, not camp. I know it took place at a camp.
No pun intended. Another thing
campy.
too, I think Halloween is way more mature compared to Friday the 13th. Like, those people are idiots, and it's like, they're smarter in Halloween, I think, and... It actually, in Halloween, you have a main person that you're following, where every Friday the 13th, it's like someone new. Well, you get to Tommy Jarvis, but...
Tommy Jarvis has 3 films under, so...
But after that, you're kind of following different people, Like, they kind of just wanted someone new for each film, where Halloween, it's like Laurie Strode or Laurie Strode's family, or someone from that. And it's way more mature. There's not, like, boobs every second. There's not jokes every second. It's definitely for a more mature audience, I think. Which is why maybe some people find that boring, because it's not slice and dice every second like the Friday the 13th franchise.
Garbage.
No. It's mindless. It's mindless, you know. You could sit there and like not take it seriously, where Halloween's definitely more serious.
I think with the slashers though too, I feel when you have a slasher and you take yourself seriously, I don't think that you're. I don't know. I don't think you take yourself too seriously. I feel like that hurts the film itself.
So a slasher's supposed to be goofy.
I disagree.
Not goofy, but it's just like, you know, it's like back then. It's like those slashers were just supposed to be like they were supposed to be like those B movies, and Friday the 13th knew that its franchise was a B movie franchise.
Halloween was trying to be that.
What?
A B movie, like campy B movie. It didn't.
It wasn't. Yeah.
No?
It was trying to be a scary horror film.
Yeah.
That's
what they were trying to do.
Labeled a slasher because it's a slasher.
It is a slasher, yeah. But it is a serious slasher, I think. You know, but you have the girls cracking jokes, so it's not 100% serious. It's just not like, hey guys, how many beers can I chug?
Jokes, though, is more like a dialogue you would have with your friends.
Exactly. It's more relatable.
It's realistic.
Yeah.
It's like something you might do if you were in that situation, sitting with your friends, whereas opposed, there's jokes like at the expense.
Like sex jokes,
the audience.
beer jokes. It's like, okay.
So I was a kid when all those came out, and I was pretty young, so I ended up seeing those around the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to say that Halloween I found creepier as a kid than Friday the 13th.
Mm-hmm.
In truth, I saw those two and The Exorcist all around the same
The
time
Exorcist
as
is
a
the
young
scariest.
kid. Yeah, I was going to say.
That takes the cake.
Seeing The Exorcist compared to those two, those did nothing to me. Like, I was like, those are nothing. I'm not even scared or worried. And then I see The Exorcist around the same time. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, look at him all annoyed over there.
Not annoyed, I'm thinking.
The Exorcist, hands down, is the one I give all my votes to.
But I will give it up, you know, for Friday the 13th. There's so much content there.
I think Friday the 13th is, on an entertainment level, is far superior than Halloween.
I thought you were going to say funner again.
Funner.
It's just Friday the 13th is entertainment. It's pure entertainment, and it knows what it wants to be.
Yeah, I'll give it that.
And unlike Halloween, it feels like it wants to be mature, but just doesn't know how to be mature enough to handle its content. Because look at the story and storyline that they're trying to tell in 4, 5, and 6, they totally dropped the fucking ball on that. Unlike the other ones, they dropped the ball on part 5. Yeah, Roy.
I actually liked that about that, though.
5 was decent. I
like that it wasn't Jay, and
I like Reggie. I like the little kid Reggie.
Reggie and his brother. You know, I feel like a lot of people hate 5 because it wasn't Jason, but I was like, that's fucking brilliant. That's kind of like what Halloween 3 did. Like, it takes you out from the norm, you know, and brings into something completely different. But I don't know. I wish Tommy Jarvis became the killer. That would have been cool. That would have been different. Like how Danielle Harris would have been the killer. I wish they went that route instead too. But like I said, I'm not a hardcore fan of After 3. But, you know, I will say for sure, like, I love watching the Friday the 13th movies, like when it's like springtime or summertime. Because it's just like, okay, this is the season of that kind of stuff, you know. I think they definitely have their seasons, right? Halloween, obviously Halloween. Friday the 13th, it's like when it's getting warm out.
Summer.
Yeah. But, you know, this is a hard one because I like both of the franchises, so I don't know, I'm kind of like sweeting on this one.
I really do think, because I watched Friday the 13th more recently.
The original one?
Well, not the original, like some of the sequels.
Oh.
And I just remember just having so much fun and being so entertained by them. On like 4 and 5, like Halloween 4 and 5, I'm just sitting there like, I like 4 because I love Danielle Harris. I thought she gave a great performance, and Rachel was good in there too. But 5 is just, it's a fucking mess. Jesus.
Well, they had a lot of issues, you know. A lot of issues. But I don't know, I just felt like the Fridays became like porn movies after the 4th one. Like,
yeah,
just straight up
again,
porn.
they knew what it wanted to be.
It was for men.
That's the point that I'm trying to make.
It was for men audience though, like not when you as a girl doesn't want to watch that.
I totally disagree with that.
Would you want to see tits every 5 seconds?
Maybe.
Really? Unless you're bisexual. But if you're not, if you're like a straight female horror fan,
I mean, in general, that kind of stuff just I find boring anyway.
Yeah.
I wasn't particularly entertained by the Friday the 13th franchise very much.
What about the Halloween franchise?
Halloween one? Very
Same.
much. I kind of lost interest after the first one, I'll be honest. But slasher is kind of my least favorite genre.
So who gets this round then?
So it sounds to me like basically what you're saying in layman's terms is all the different. They screwed up Friday the 13th less
than Halloween.
Because I mean, you have a bunch of different people getting their hands on the franchise and their interpretation.
And studios,
right?
Yeah.
And different writers, different people that have different ideas about how it should look. So it sounds to me like Friday the 13th, they just messed up for whatever reason it got messed up less than Halloween.
Yeah.
I mean, in layman's to simplify it.
Yeah. All right, so Friday gets this round?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. So we're at a tie, 2-2.
Especially if you like tits. Yes.
God, we need to show more penis in horror movies.
Actually, very true.
I would say.
Actually, I just read an article about how Americans are so afraid of penises, like to watch on. No, as a French director, he's the one that did. He's got a new film coming out.
Is that Climax? Guess
yeah, him. Yeah. He just had an article like, why are Americans so like you go anywhere else, and like a European country, and they will show it, but America does not.
Thing that might have some influence on that. I have a lot of friends, and I go out, I socialize, and I've been in situations where I'm hearing women talk about men, and I have heard. I personally don't feel this way. I think penises are great. And I like how they look. But I have heard more than one woman say, whether I've been like at a club and you're waiting for the bathroom and women are talking. That happened to me one time. Or just different conversations, and they go, oh, dicks are weird looking. Oh, they're not. And I hear I'm like, what?
You're like, huh?
But I wonder, I have to wonder if that has some kind of, that kind of feeling maybe women...
Well, there's a whole episode we could do on that, because if you look at a lot
dicks?
It's And
then you hear about dick pics. I hear women complain all the time. Like, oh, like he sent me a dick pic. I don't want to see the dick pic. And then you have men who are like, send me a pic of your tits.
Yeah.
So I wonder if they're catering to sort of this social acceptance of...
There's a thing about it, because if you look at a lot of American films that show male nudity, the guy's not attractive. It's like they're laughing at him, they're making fun of him, and it's not going to be a hard penis because I think only porn can show that. So that has a lot to do with it too.
Yeah.
However, if you were to show Alexander Skarsgård naked, a lot of girls are into that. You watch True Blood and they're like, let's have this. So we're not getting the attractive male that's naked that we're like, oh my god, lady boner. We're getting the drunk guy at a bar. We're getting the Seth Rogen types, and not a lot of girls are attracted to that.
I don't know though. There's all that about the dad
bod.
Yeah.
Now Leonardo DiCaprio is considered dad bod, but we could do a whole episode on that.
Really?
Yeah.
He let himself go.
Did he really?
Only for a second. For a role? Only for a second. Now he's okay. But
I don't know. Define letting yourself go. If somebody gains a little bit of weight, or I don't know, if someone is healthy but they're a little chunkier or whatever, I don't necessarily consider that like John Travolta. He doesn't look bad to me.
He's had a lot of work done.
Has he?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't even.
Hair transplants.
I just know that when I saw him in Pulp Fiction and later, and then seen compared to when he was in Welcome Back, Kotter.
Oh my god.
I just aged myself.
but that's not to get away from the topic, but that's the thing is we're not getting what guys are getting, like the fake tits and completely waxed like Playboy. That's what they're showing in a lot of these horror films, and me as a female, it drives me fucking nuts because I'm so sick of seeing that shit. Yeah. And when you go on a date, you're not going to want to see that because then the guy is going to look at her and be like, ugh. And I had a guy do that, and it was the most annoying, disrespectful thing. So me on a personal level, that's where I'm coming from, where it's like the blatant nudity every 10 seconds. It's just like, enough.
We need to campaign for more dick.
Yes, exactly. Good dick. Good attractive dicks. So that's why Friday the 13th pisses me off, actually.
For more dick.
So that's my hang up on that. I don't know. But I digress.
So now, here you have it. Bump in the Night is now going to... The women of Bump in the Night are going to campaign for more dick.
Yes. Anyway.
That's our first Elysa rant.
Yeah. I could go on, but I don't want to take away this episode of, All right, what do you want to move on to next? How about score?
Okay, well, I was going to move on to Final Girls, but we can do score.
Okay, score. Halloween, iconic. Once you hear that simple melody... There's nothing else.
I will have to say what Harry Manfredini did with the first one was pretty iconic. It's like...
Very similar to Psycho, though.
Yeah, then he even said that he was inspired by that movie.
He's saying something.
Yeah, kill him, mommy.
Kill.
Kill him. And he just took the... and then he just, boom. He just chopped it up. That's all he did. I honestly think that the Friday scores are... They're far different. Because when you get to part 3, you get this whole disco theme, and it's like, what the fuck is this?
Which I actually really liked. I really liked that.
I like that score too, but then, it kind of sets the tone for the movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would honestly have to give you this one, because I don't think Friday the 13th has that iconic score. Yeah. Where it's just, all Friday is known for is...
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Yeah.
If you ask me, Halloween.
Yeah.
Because once you hear that piano riff...
Yeah, it's just like...
It's creepy.
Yeah.
And
it's so simple, too. That's the thing. That's the thing, too. It's such a simple story and simple movie, but it's so effective. And not to mention John Carpenter's, like, such a freaking talented composer, in all of his movies. Like, he just knows... He knows what's scary and what suspense is, and that's the Halloween. It builds up, and there's so much suspense, even with, like, the ambient sounds and, like, the sound effects,
Yeah, no, I think, I would have to be, honest and say, no, I think Halloween. Because I can't defend Friday, because I don't think that they have... It's iconic enough, and I don't think the score Manfredini did was good and original. You know what I mean? He says the stings were from Psycho. Yeah. He even said that, it's inspired by Psycho. That's why.
It is a good score. Though.
It is a good score, but it's nothing compared to the Halloween. Because once you play that, you play that anywore.
Anybody knows it. Yeah.
It's like the hockey mask. You know, once you hear that, you know
exactly.
That's actually the Halloween theme for Halloween, Yeah. So I would have to give you that.
All right.
So Mike is still up. Mike's up. What's the score again?
4-2 or 3-2?
So what was the first one?
Mask.
Look.
Or were those two separate things?
No,
that's the same one.
Things.
Franchise.
Score.
I feel like we did another thing though, or this.
Backstory. That's what it was.
Oh yeah, backstory. So
it's backstory. Mike, Look, Jason. No, actually, Look was tied.
Yeah, Look was tied.
Franchise Friday. Mm-hmm. So that was 2-2.
So 3-2.
3-2 because of the score.
Yeah.
Okay, and then Final Girls.
Yeah, this is a hard one because there's so many.
Who had the better final girl?
There's so many different ones. So who do you want to talk about then? Because there's so many different ones. Here's the thing, though.
Like you're only as good as your villain is only as good as its hero.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? And so, with Halloween, you have Laurie Strode. Mm-hmm. You have Rachel. What's her name?
Rachel,
the blonde
girl. And the
girl.
Fourth one, yeah.
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 And the girl.
Jamie,
there you go. Rachel and Jamie. Mm-hmm. And then you had the mom from 6.
Yeah.
And then you had Laurie Strode back.
Yeah. Well, I think when Paul Rudd would be like the lead, though. I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Because then we're gonna talk about Tommy Jarvis.
Yeah.
So like heroes and heroines, I guess.
Yeah. You know, and Tommy Jarvis is Tommy Jarvis, Reggie to an extent.
Yeah.
Ginny. Mm-hmm. And then the original one.
The girl in the third one too. I really liked Shelley. No, Shelley was the guy. I'm so bad with names today. What's her name? The one in the third one. Can't remember. But
this is why I have you do all this stuff.
Me?
This is why you need to write everything down.
Just me, not you.
Because
you can't remember her name either.
Shh. I can remember her name.
Trying to blame me. Okay, what's her name? Because you're looking it up on your phone.
Hold on.
You know, I wish Shelley was like the final person. Because he was like the innocent one and...
Chris.
Oh, Chris, that's right. Chris. Ginny. I like Ginny. Ginny was like this more... She got the psychological game.
Amy Steele?
Yeah, I really liked...
Amy Steele, right?
Yeah, I really liked her, actually.
So... Alright, but you had to defend Halloween, so who was the better one?
So, I mean, hands down, Laurie Strode. She's the ultimate... When you think of a final girl, you think of Laurie Strode. When you think of, like, the Fridays, there's so many. However, Halloween has, like, a one basic final girl. It's Laurie Strode. She is smart. She's innocent. She knows how to protect herself, even though she's really scared. And this is all happening to her at, like, a young age, you know? So, I don't know. I just think she... had such a great story because in the newer one, she becomes so strong and she's such a strong character. She's not as scared as she was, you know, in the first one when she was a high school student. So, I don't know. I really think she kind of takes the cake with the final girl. Whereas Friday the 13th, they had good final girls, but there's so many of them. It's like, okay.
There's not a really crossover set when you get to Jarvis. And Jarvis is someone like, you know, young Jarvis and older Jarvis. Mm-hmm. Like, you get middle-aged Jarvis.
You have Corey Feldman.
Yeah, Corey Feldman as young Tommy Jarvis. And then you have Tom Matthews as Tommy Jarvis.
Yeah.
And then in part 5, you have this dude.
Yeah. I don't remember his name. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I forgot your name.
He was good, though. I liked him in 5.
But he wasn't really, like... He wasn't Tommy Jarvis, you know what I mean? He was someone that was just there. It was Reggie and the psychiatrist that were really more instrumental on fighting Jason.
Yeah, I really liked Reggie. I wish there was more of him, actually.
I wish they brought him back.
Yeah,
it's
funny.
In the documentary, his name was Jason.
Oh.
The actor is they wanted to bring me back. He's like, why? So they could kill me? Hell no!
He was awesome, yeah. But that's the thing, like there's so
John Shepard.
John number 5?
Yeah, number 5.
Okay. But there's not a distinct one. You know?
I don't know. I think Jarvis... I think when you think of Friday, you think of two names. You either think Tommy Jarvis or you think of Ginny. Because those are the ones that are always brought up.
Yeah. Or what's her name? The first one. She's brought up a lot. Alice. She's brought up a lot too. So, and she did make a cameo in the second one.
Yeah, which was weird. I don't know why Jason would travel to find... travel to her hometown just to kill her. I have a theory that wasn't Jason. I have a theory that was just some random serial killer that just killed her.
Well, no, because he had the boots and the jeans.
Yeah, I know, but I think that it was just some random killer. I don't think it was Jason. Because why the fuck would Jason travel all that way just to kill her?
It didn't make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
It didn't make sense. But, yeah, I don't know. I think, Jarvis was good, but I feel like Laurie Strode is what you think of as the final girl, you know? So I'm going to go with Halloween on this one.
Laurie Strode?
Mm-hmm.
I think...
Who else?
Well, you have Jamie Lloyd.
Yeah, who was good, but she, you know, it's hard when they're kids, because it's like when Tommy was a kid and Jamie's a kid.
But fucking Tommy was a kid and he killed Jason.
Yeah.
He hacked him up with a fucking machete.
Feldman,
that's you can't
Corey Feldman.
You can't say that. Just because she's a kid, you can't say that.
No, but
he was the same age as Jamie Lloyd when he fucking killed Jason.
But Laurie Strode was in more of the Halloween, so that's why I'm going with her. Where Jamie
was in 2.
3 technically, but it wasn't.
3? Yeah. What was the third one?
6, Curse of Michael Myers, but it wasn't Danielle Harris.
Strode was in Halloween, Halloween 2, H2O, Resurrection.
And the new Halloween.
So 5.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Tommy Jarvis is the man.
What do you think? Who takes the final girl or final guy?
I would probably go with Halloween.
Halloween. Ding, 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 ding. 4-2.
I mean, you can't really argue with that because Laurie Strode is in fucking 5 movies.
Yeah, and she's an iconic
and basically
character.
What she did in the new Halloween, you know, with that. Honestly, I think...
She's like the epitome of a final
Yeah, exactly.
girl,
that's what I said, exactly. Yeah.
You know, if they brought back Nancy Thompson, like, years later...
Yeah.
And put her in that role, she would be that too.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because she would be trying to gear her children up and her grandchildren to fight that evil.
Why don't they do that now?
They can't.
Why?
I'll tell you off air.
Oh. Damn it. That would be really cool, actually.
That would be cool.
Like, he haunts her kids.
It's just a theory, though, so...
Yeah.
I think Tommy Jarvis is synonymous with Friday, and also with the fan film brought back Jarvis. I think Jarvis is someone that's synonymous with Friday. Because he's someone that's interlinked with Jason, much like Laurie Strode is.
Yeah, but I feel like when you think of, like... a Scream Queen or like a Final Girl, you don't think of Tommy Jarvis. Yeah. I'm sorry, you don't.
You think Mark Patton.
He is the ultimate.
Sorry.
He's the ultimate.
And I'm just
Queen.
That's a fun joke.
No, I'm kidding.
But no, you know, like I don't think like I like Tommy Jarvis, but he doesn't leave so much of an impact on me as Laurie Strode has.
No, because if you watch 4 and 6 back to back, there is an impact there.
I guess I just think Laurie Strode is a bit stronger in this case.
And you win Laurie Strode? She's nodding her head. So.
Okay.
Like
I said, I'm just thinking about dicks.
You're welcome.
That's 4-2.
No. Yeah. But I'm a Scorpio one, don't I?
Do you want to talk about remakes?
And let's go to remakes, and after that, we'll talk legacy.
Okay.
Remakes, so...
I hated both, so I really don't know. But I'm kind of out on this one. I hated both.
You can't be out. You have to defend it, at least. Because I'm going to defend the other one.
I didn't. But I said from the very beginning, I did not like Rob Zombie's. I thought it was like so trashy, and Michael was huge, and it just wasn't. It wasn't Halloween to me, and same with the second one. It got kind of like psychedelic and trippy and
I really
dreamy.
do think people get lost in the fact that he's not only remaking John Carpenter's Halloween, but he's trying to make his own Halloween.
Which I understand that, but...
And I feel like a lot of people give him so much flack for that. It's like he's trying to make his own interpretation of what Halloween is to him.
Exactly, but that's where I'm going to come in and argue because they gave him way too much backstory. And it's not scary or mysterious. It kind of just takes you out of it. So that's why... I don't know. I agree
with the backstory, and even the director's cut, they fucking make it even longer.
Yeah, it's just too long, man. I don't know, and it's very like violent against women in particular too. And I don't know. I did not love it. I will say the Friday remake. A lot of people defend that one and actually really liked it. I didn't care for it myself, but. It was very Friday the 13th, nudity, party, killing. But they made him huge in that too.
That's like Derek Mears.
They made him gigantic.
Which I didn't mind. I thought that worked, and I actually particularly liked the remake. I think the remake's actually pretty fucking fun. I think it's a blast. I don't like where they went with the last half hour of the movie. Mm-hmm. Maybe the last 10, 15 minutes where you find out that the girl's still alive. Like, why would he keep her alive? That doesn't make sense.
Oh, it's like his mom, right? They
didn't even... I haven't seen it in a minute, but I don't even think they even referenced his mom. Because she didn't wear the sweater. She didn't do anything.
That also had a very long intro as well. That to me, like, the kind of were two separate movies in a way. I mean, that intro with, like, the pot and the people camping and stuff. Like, and then you have...
I don't think it was that long.
It was pretty long.
No, I don't think. What's long to you?
I remember watching it in theater, and it was just very long, and I thought those were going to be your main characters, but then it went...
I think you went into the movie fucking hating it, and I think that's why it was long. Because I remember watching it and thinking, this is not that long. Like, I kind of want to see more. All of a sudden...
I saw it in theaters, that was the last time I saw it, but I remember the intro was kind of long.
It wasn't that long. Like 10 minutes.
I don't know. We could research it later, but... I don't know, I didn't like either of these, so I don't know. If we got that fan film, that was freaking great. Like, that was amazing, and I wish they did that into a feature instead of what we got with the remake of the Friday the 13th.
Yeah, Victor Silva? Still in a lawsuit with Sean Cunningham over the rights over the property, over that character the property, so... I don't know if they settled yet. And
I don't think they have.
It all depends if they do settle, then we'll get a new Friday movie. But until then, we're not going to see a Friday movie for a very long time.
Yeah. So many issues.
I think the remake is in spirit with what the originals were. And it knew what it was. And on top of that, you got to think, at that point in time, you had PG-13 horror movies ruling the box office.
Yeah.
And this was a change.
That was 2009?
Yeah. 2009, 2008?
2009, I want to say, because I saw it when I was in college.
And you had those PG-13 movies ruling the box office. Horror movies were just really bad. And this was just like kind of like a throwback to what horror used to be.
This was when a lot of remakes were happening, though, too. Like, this was, like, the remake craze from, like, 2004 to 2010. You know, every year we had, like, a remake come out. But, yeah.
2009.
Yeah. That was an annoying experience watching it, too. I saw it in SF, and it was just bad. It was a bad experience. So maybe that had a lot to do with it, too.
Yeah. Again, you know...
and I like Jared...
Padalecki?
Paladaki or however. Yeah. I like him a lot. He was the only thing I liked about it.
I think, and then on top of that is that another thing that does strike a chord with me is that every single character in here you fucking hate.
Oh my god, especially that guy that cheats on his girlfriend. Oh, I wanted to kill that guy.
You hate every single character, but then when they die, you root for Jason.
You do.
You know?
Yeah.
And I think that was the thing. That you kind of turned him into an anti-hero by the end of the film. Like, oh, shit. But there were 13 kills, and there were some nice little references to the old movies, particularly with the sleeping bag.
Yeah.
There was another one, too. I can't remember. The barn. The barn when he finds his mask. That's another reference. So... I really like the remake, and I think the remake still holds up. Because if you watch both of these, the Friday the 13th remake, hands down, better. Because Neil Marshall
totally bombed, though. Like, it bombed where Halloween, the Rob Zombie one, did really well, actually.
Yeah, the Halloween movie actually got public interest more.
And it got a sequel.
Yeah. And it made people want to see more Myers.
So I hated both, but then I will say Halloween did better, so then I'm going to go with Halloween on this one. Because it did do better.
God, you're such a waffler.
A what?
A waffler.
Well, you want me to pick, so... You bipolar today, you want me to pick, you want me to do this, what do you want me to do? I'm just going to say, like, financial-wise, Halloween...
Yeah, financially, so Halloween was better, but...
Yeah.
Did better. But Friday as a movie was way and tons better.
I hated both. Did you see both remakes?
No.
Okay, so who's gonna win at this one? I don't know. Maybe a tie again because I don't know.
After the first ones, I totally own. I just kind of lost interest. I saw some here and there, but I didn't make it a point to watch.
To see them. You're not missing anything. They were just freaking awful in my opinion. So I guess we'll tie at this round.
4-3.
Yeah.
And legacy.
Legacy.
So who had the better legacy? I think Jason has a better legacy.
Why?
I think Jason has a better legacy because he is someone that is iconic. crossover. He has that crossover appeal, just like Freddy, like I touched on earlier. His mask is iconic. A lot of the older movies did very well, and he sells tons of merchandise. And I think Jason is... You see a lot more Jason cosplayers than you do see Micheal Myers cosplayers.
You see more Halloween costumes than you see Jason for Halloween.
For Mike Myers?
Mm-hmm.
I only think that's probably because the movie just came out. The 2018 movie. That's why you saw a lot of those.
No, even like before, like even growing up as a kid or like the last couple of years, I've noticed more Michaels than maybe the Rob Zombie movie helped that, but I feel like I've seen more of that.
Definitely helped because again, like I just touched on it. That movie brought Mike back.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like in general, ever since I was like little to now, I've always seen more of Micheal Myers than Jason.
I honestly think this is like you can't even debate.
It's hard
because the thing is if you show the hockey mask or the Mike Myers mask to anyone, whether they're in horror or not, into horror or not, people will immediately know both of them.
You know what's funny?
Kind of the same. I don't think one or either or.
A lot of people get both of their names wrong too. They think the hockey mask is Michael, and then they think Michael's Jason.
I have done that a million times.
My parents do that. It's like, no, like they would call him Jason, like it's Michael. So it's funny because they both often get confused as each other.
But I also have called Phantasm Fantasia.
That's a little different. But I don't know. I think Halloween wins this one because Halloween's just timeless. It is timeless. Every generation gets into this movie. Not only is it like a holiday thing people love getting into, but the mask is iconic. I don't know. Everywhere you go, you can always see something that's related to Micheal Myers in the horror world. You see more fan films
for Jason than you do for Myers.
That's true. There have been a lot of comedy Micheal Myers ones, but I just feel like Halloween. I don't know. It's timeless. It'll always go on. The new one that just came out, it brought more people back into the films, I think, and it brought more recognition back, especially with Laurie Strode versus Micheal Myers. So I just think it's always going to be relevant, and the season definitely helps it for sure, but I just feel it's got such a huge and devoted fan base. People really defend Halloween, I think, more than the Friday films, for sure.
I think people do have, like, this affinity for Halloween.
I mean, there's a convention just for Halloween.
Yeah, for the Halloween 40. Yeah, but I honestly think had this lawsuit not happen between Victor Silva and Sean Cunningham and Paramount, I honestly think Friday would be parallel to that. They would have their own as well.
Possibly.
And then you have books on Friday the 13th. You have like 2 documentaries on the series.
Same with Halloween. There's a bunch of different documentaries. There's
you have the Inside Story, and then you have the Rob Zombie one.
No, I've seen other ones.
I have not seen. Those are the only 2 that I've seen. And Friday the 13th, those 2 documentaries were made by fans for fans, and they interviewed a lot of the original cast. Except Kevin Bacon, obviously. But, I honestly think that Friday has much more fan appeal than Halloween.
Okay, I think more Raiders fans dress up like Jason than Michael.
Raiders fans? Because the Raiders suck. I'm just saying that because my brother-in-law loves the Raiders, so I always give him a hard time.
Isn't that kind of true, though? There's more that use.
Why would they dress up as Jason? Is there a thing? I don't understand that. Is it because jocks? I
just know it's one of the costumes that I've seen more often.
I feel like jocks and I hate jocks, and I feel like jocks like the Friday films more than the Halloween films. It's more of like a football culture and jock bro and drink beer. Where Halloween, it's no, there's more dark shit. It's more creepy. Hello, it's got conventions.
Well, probably because of the camp.
Yeah.
Because of it being campy.
Yeah.
And so the costume, I don't know, the vibe.
The vibe go hand in hand.
Yeah. I think
you don't really have to have a brain. Well, Jason's dumb.
Isn't that true?
So.
Have you ever seen
I haven't been to a Raider game for...
Yeah, but I'm saying Have you ever seen anyone dress up like Mike Myers?
At a Raider game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Really?
I've seen, I mean, I'm not a Raiders fan or anything, but,
yeah, people
I don't care either way,
Myers,
but...
That's so weird.
I haven't seen, I've just seen Jason. Like, I
feel like Jason would be like the Sharks game.
Which our Jason, the actor that played Jason, huge, that's one of his. He goes to the Raiders games and he's
so
in the
weird.
Raiders, and he dresses like Jason. In fact, that's his costume.
That's so weird. I can't believe that. I don't know. It's interesting. I don't know. I feel like Halloween, like, it's always going to be timeless. It's always going to have a fan base. Like, you hear more about people, especially, like, even my parents. Yeah, I saw it in theaters. Like, you hear way more about that culture growing up in the 70s, watching it on the big screen, than you do with, like, Friday the 13th. And so that gets passed down generations to generations.
Well, I think, too, by the time you got to Friday the 13th,
mm-hmm.
like, Halloween, the whole idea of that movie was kind of new.
Yeah, exactly.
In the 70s and kind of like, ooh, what is this?
Yeah.
And then, didn't it come out in 80?
Yeah. Friday
the 13th?
Yeah.
So by that time, too, I think that people were like, oh, Ben, we've done that. We saw this. We've seen this before.
Mm-hmm.
Or just, the interest wasn't as...
Yeah.
But I think people like them for different reasons.
Yeah.
I think they're kind of different.
One of the things...
Even though they're both slashers.
Yeah.
I finish my thought.
Friday is more definitely about ritualistic killing, and they have better set pieces. And they were one of the first franchises to actually push the gore and push, like,
it was definitely more gory.
The ability to what you can show. As opposed to Halloween was more restrained.
Mm-hmm.
Jason and Friday the 13th, that series, they just showed you.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't afraid to show you fucking arrows go through the neck, or a machete through the head, or the knife going in between a girl. Like, actually, that was actually one of the scenes in the New Blood where she's jumping up and down and dancing.
Mm-hmm.
She does a splits, and he puts the knife, and it goes right into her.
Ugh.
Definitely more graphic. Where, again, it's like, what's scarier, not seeing it and thinking of the worst, or actually seeing it?
Well, it seems to me like Halloween, again, was more focused on being scary, and Friday the 13th is more focused on gore.
Yeah, shock value.
I mean, being that gory, I think, for that time was kind of scary, in a sense. Now, you can see gore, you can just Google something and see it, so it's not as shocking, but I think when that movie came out,
teenagers were seeing it.
Was considered scarier. So maybe, but I mean, I lost my train of thought. You're gonna have to edit this.
I don't know. I also feel like because Halloween, you can go to the location where it was shot, so like that brings a lot of people together. There's even like a plaque. There's tours. I just think it has way more of a fan base because it is more accessible. Where in New Jersey, it's a Boy Scout camp, so you can't really go.
Or Texas, or Michigan.
Right, so...
Or Atlanta. Or... Wait, there's another place, too. Fuck, can't remember.
What film?
Jason Goes to Hell. That was in California.
The third Friday 13th was shot not too far from here, 3 hours from here. The barn and that area.
Oh, really?
3 hours from here, yeah. But I don't know, you always see people, same with like the Freddy house too, like it's got people just always wanting to go. I'm like, yeah, the Myers house, it's just so iconic. Michael is an icon. He's like a serial killer icon.
If you really think about it, the forefathers are really Jason, Leatherface, Freddy, and...
Michael.
No, I said Michael.
I thought you said Jason.
No, Jason, Michael, Freddy...
Leatherface.
And Leatherface. Or Pinhead.
Yeah.
That fourth one could be really debatable. Really.
Yeah.
But, like, those three people, those three are the ones that really changed the game.
Yeah, for sure.
So, legacy, I honestly think Jason has the better legacy, though.
Well, I'm going to disagree and say Michael has a better legacy. What do you think?
I still am thinking the same thing, that the appeal for both of them, like, people have different reasons. So I think they're kind of on the same level. Like I think when you come after your discussion, to me, what I get out of it is they're kind of the same for different reasons. Mm-hmm. Like they're popular with the same, I would say it would be hard to figure out who has the bigger fan base. I think it's probably pretty equal, but people just have different reasons for liking one more than the other. But I don't think that one, like I said, if you show that either mask to anyone, whether they are a fan or not, they will immediately know who either of them are.
They might get the names confused.
Yes, they'll get the names. They'll say, "Oh, Michael wore that hockey mask." Yeah. But they know it's what it's tied to. That it's slasher film. That it's to me, it's hard to
So it's
say.
A tie?
That's what it seems to me.
Okay. So what are we at? 5-4?
Yeah, I think so. So I posted up a poll on the Joe Bob Briggs Drive-In Mutant Collective and asked who would win in a straight-up fight. 58 votes voted for Jason Voorhees. 11 for Micheal Myers.
But that's a fight, though. That's not like which one's...
That's a fight. So, and this is a fight, basically. This is basically what it is. It's a fucking fight.
Why? So why? Why would Jason win? Because Mike, like I know him. You know Mike.
My guy, Mike.
Mike, he seems pretty strong and like
so
he could hold his own.
So the comments were saying, so John Beach commented, definitely Jason after 4, but before that, I don't know. Jesse Ortega, well, if we take the first movie, Myers.
Yeah.
Tim Maples, Jason would kick Michael's ass. I don't think there's much of an argument here. Jesse Wilson, change my vote. I think Myers could win. Jimmy Austin, Jason has been completely blown up and still came back. Hard to top that. Derek Eastman, human or zombie Jason? Human, he loses. Zombie, he wins.
Yeah, that's the thing. There's so many different Jasons. So it sounds like when Jason gets like big and like that weird supernatural thing, but then they're saying Micheal Myers would win if it was one.
So only count because...
But then Brandon Hendricks says, sorry, the Saw family... Saw is family. Leatherface would make barbecue dinner out of these chumps.
Wow.
Clearly... Oh, never mind. It's another reference. But they also added votes like Predator.
Let's change the rules a little bit. So you can only take the original
Michael
into consideration. The original Michael and the original Jason into consideration.
Potato sack Jason.
To me, both of those... For me, anyway, hold the most, like, have the most clout.
Yeah, I agree.
Because they were the original inspiration. You know, the person that was inspired to do this seems, I don't know.
I would say Michael. Hands down. I mean, you got that butcher knife.
Consider the original.
I think
the first.
I think it'd be a fight. I think it'd be a struggle. But I really do think Jason would. I think
Did
the original
Jason
would win.
display superhuman strength
after like the 6th
No,
one?
only in the original.
No, he was the same size as Michael, actually, just like an average size man.
He was more crafty. Right?
No, he wasn't crafty.
No, he just used like weapons and killed people.
Well, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
He was like sneaky and crafty. It wasn't really about strength. It was about, sort of being sneaky.
Michael was sneaky because he would just show up behind.
He was, but he would all of a sudden be really strong and like holding.
He hold that guy up.
What?
He had like uber strength,
and it seems like he could stand there and you could stab him. I think.
He was
part
shot.
of the fear of Michael was it seemed like you could shoot him a bunch of times, stab him a bunch of times, and then he would get up, lift you up by your neck and kill you, even though he's, has all these wounds that would have killed a normal person. Jason, on the other hand, if he seemed more sneaky, but if you could get your hands on him, you might be able to do him in.
Yeah.
But he was so determined and sneaky that's how he seemed to accomplish most of it, or accomplish his kills. Whereas Micheal Myers was sneaky, but then it seemed like he had this kind of strange superhuman strength that...
It's because he ate dogs. So he got his...
Ate dogs.
He ate dogs. If he's watched the first one, he ate dogs. Yeah.
Isn't there a part where he's petting the dog? Is that a different one? Maybe that's a new one. Did he reach down and pet a dog?
I don't remember. I just know he eats them. Yeah, it's pretty weird. It's pretty weird, but yeah, I don't know. I would say if you're looking at like potato sack Jason versus Micheal in the first one, I think Micheal has it because the dude gets shot 6 times. He can hold the guy up. Like, he's really strong and he's got that butcher knife. So like that's his claim, is that butcher knife. Whereas like potato sack Jason, I'm trying to remember what weapons he used.
He used everything.
So he just like grabbed whatever was accessible.
And I think that's the thing is that, you know, when you're in a fight, you're desperate. Yeah. And Jason is someone that is not only desperate but very angry.
Because
he has that. He does have strength in part 2.
Yeah, he does.
It's not to the level in 3 or 4, you know. But I think Jason would win because of just on pure emotion. I feel.
Well, Micheal has that too because he just got out. He's
not emotional though.
Well, no, but he's got that drive. He's got that drive to just kill anybody that's in his way because he just got out.
Yeah, but he's never met anyone that, you know. Neither of them have, well, except for Jason, but neither of them have really met like a shape that could really challenge each other. And I think the only reason Jason died in the second one was because Ginny was able to trick him.
Yeah, she psychologically...
And then fucking decapitates him.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think Micheal can trick Jason. So as long as he can't trick Jason, Jason is going to be able to put hands on Micheal.
Well, they're both very physical, and they're about the same size, I want to say. So
how many of Jason's kills dealt with just strength?
That's
or were
later.
They all?
That's
no,
later.
I mean in the first one. Sorry, I'm still
none
counting the first
I don't think
one.
any in the first one. I think he just uses weapons. He doesn't really use
being
like his
sneaky, like being under. Wait.
Yeah, under the bed.
Under the mattress and.
The kills the couple.
And then the girl eating the banana.
Yeah. That was the fourth one, I think.
Oh yeah. I don't know why that scene sticks in my.
But yeah, I don't think he used his hands at all, actually. In the second one, I think it was all weapons. Where Micheal uses his hands a lot in the first one.
I think the thing about Jason seems like his strength is more, you know, on the level of the average Joe or average Jason, and Mike Myers is more kind of a notch, you know, a level above his strength. And ability to withstand a, you know, an injury.
Yeah.
How often did Jason get injured?
No, because no one touched him in the second one. It wasn't until he got hit. It wasn't until he got decapitated.
And then he was toast.
And then he comes back even though he's decapitated.
Okay, so wait, I have a question.
Sure.
So who do you think would have the best dick
Micheal.
on film?
Jason's would be like deformed
Who's
looking.
Sexier?
Micheal for sure.
Micheal
for sure. Micheal wins like...
I wish you could see
Micheal is like the sexy. And I even have friends like in high school, they're like, Micheal Myers is hot. And I'm like, yeah, he is. Jason's like gross and like deformed. No. Micheal, hands down. It's the sexy one. You should see Johnny's face right now.
That Jason carries a machete, so that should tell you all you need to know.
Yeah, but a butcher knife is more...
That's the joke. That's the implication. The guy that drives the big truck has a small dick. Hello?
Butcher knife has more girth.
Oh, did the joke just go over your head or something?
You're talking about length, but...
No,
girth...
that's the joke.
I get your joke, but I'm just saying butcher knife has more girth than a machete. That's my joke. She gets it.
Okay, this show's totally off.
I'd rather get a butcher knife,
right,
than a machete. A butcher knife in the crotch than a machete. That is so gross.
So it
sounds
like Michael wins in this.
Unfair advantage.
But hey, like I said,
I don't think that there's a winner. I think that Jason is very different from Mike.
They're extremely different.
Again, I keep calling him Mike, like I know, Mike, he's cool.
And I love, like I said before, I love the Friday films. I love the Friday films too, but I'm more into Michael than Jason, I think.
I will say we went to the theater and watched Halloween again. And I was just like, I could see everything wrong with it.
Yeah.
And I didn't find it creepy.
The new one?
When I saw it when I was like, well, the new one I didn't find creepy.
You're talking about the original one?
But the original
one. Oh, you went and saw that in theater?
So when I was a kid, and I don't remember how old I was, but I must have been 10, around there, when I saw all of those. Around that age, like 10, 12. And I probably found Halloween creepy. Friday the 13th, I was just more, it was kind of the gore, but it wasn't really scary to me. It was like, oh my gosh,
it's just gory.
I've never seen this.
Yeah.
And again, like I said, once I saw The Exorcist, neither of those were scary at all. But The Exorcist, isn't and that kind of, I would say probably that's, like I always say, slasher is my least favorite.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why then I saw The Exorcist around the same time, and that made such an impression and was very, very creepy and scary. And then Evil Dead too, I saw around that same time. When did Evil Dead come out?
That was like early 80s.
Yeah, and I saw that around the same time also. And that I thought was very scary. And so then I think of the slasher films, and maybe why maybe that's why to this day the slasher films are kind of like, eh.
And they're both such iconic characters,
more gotten to be kind of, for both of them, I think just more campy and kind of fun.
Right.
Instead of being like, ooh, a scary slasher. It's more that they're a household name.
Yeah, I mean and they own it,
They're a household name.
And like it's so hard because if you're a fan of both of them, but they are extremely different. Like I said, the Fridays are more campy, fun. Halloween's more dark and serious and mysterious.
If you like tits, watch Friday the 13th.
If you like more story and you're not an idiot, watch Halloween.
And if you like dick, you have no options.
There's no options in that category right now.
What do I do? Maybe that's why I don't like slashers.
You gotta watch French films for that.
Who's got the butcher knife?
But yeah, so I guess Michael wins this round. He's been looked so pissed this whole time. He's shaking his leg. He's sighing. He looks like he has just does not want to be here right now. I'm miserable.
I'm miserable.
What a sore loser.
I'm not a sore loser. I'm a poor winner.
Sore loser.
A poor winner.
No, I think, I don't know. I really do think that Halloween is, a story. Halloween does not have a story. It does
yes,
not.
It does.
Like the sequels, all that other stuff. No, it doesn't. It's all fucked up.
Jason doesn't have story after number 2.
But it knows that, though. That's the point.
Well, it's almost like with Halloween, there shouldn't have been all that. Like, you couldn't really do much with Halloween as you could with Friday the 13th. It seemed like there was just more.
That's why Carpenter was, done after 2. He's like...
Yeah.
He didn't want to do 2.
I know, but he was done...
And so he was smart. He's like,
and they should have, what they should have done, what they were going to do is each year would be like what Halloween 3 became, a new story, a new thing each Halloween. They should have done that and left Halloween alone after 2.
Yeah.
In my opinion, so.
Yeah, but then people would have bitched and complained.
Well, I don't know.
Like they did with the 3rd one.
But now that
but they
has such a big fan
base. So if they would have left it alone, would it have become such a household quote-unquote household name?
I think so because of the holiday, Yeah. When you think of Halloween, you think of Michael Myers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, you know, when you think of Halloween, you definitely think of Mike Myers automatically, no matter, it seems like timeless.
Yeah.
And when you think of Friday the 13th, you definitely think of, you associate with Jason, no matter what age you are. It's also timeless.
Yeah.
You know, I think even little kids can make that reference.
Yeah, they're both iconic. Both iconic slashers. He's just so pissed. All right, well, I don't have anything else to say.
Mike has the butcher knife.
I won, so I'm done.
Yeah. I honestly don't. I don't know. I will say this. I think Friday is a much more mainstay franchise than Halloween. I will say that. I think Jason is a crossover star. That is proven. That has been.
I think if I was planning a movie marathon, that probably Friday the 13th would be more fun. But I mean, more fun to watch one after the other, just because they're so goofy and
it's like mindless,
campy and
mindless cinema. Just sitting there, you don't have to think while you're watching it.
Yeah, and it is more like entertaining in that, you know, the difference.
Yeah, you get a pizza and beer and watch it. Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, there's not. I'm agreeing.
Nothing wrong with that.
I'm agreeing.
There's nothing wrong with pizza and beer. Look at y'all.
I'm agreeing with what she's saying.
All right, well, that's our
Pineapple does belong on pizza.
Ew, no.
Well, that's our show for... I've been trying to end the show for like 20 minutes already.
But you're dealing with women, and then they're talking about
So this is Who Killed It Best, Volume 1. We'll do another one probably in another month or two. I just got to figure out who would be our slashers of the month.
You could have Chucky, since that's going to be a new one.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about an idea for Pet Sematary. Actually, wait, no. Before you go there, let me pitch my idea off air before you get there.
All right.
So that's our show for tonight. I am the Boogeyman, Johnny Zuko, my co-host.
Ginger Snap, who won this round. Let's just not forget that.
And Miss Morris, the one with the biggest
dick.
Yep, I got the biggest balls.
All right, everybody.
That's what's dragging on the floor.
Stay scary.
Bye.
Bye.